Hey guys, Lieutenant Curious here today. I am here with the Season 2 finale of the Serenno Mini MOC series. So first off, if you guys would like to check out the rest of the Serenno Mini MOC series, I will put it above right about now, and you can check it out. It'll give you a nice storyline leading up to this point and going into a possible Season 3. Now I would like to ask you guys if you would like to comment a few things in the comment section below, just so I know what you guys want. 1, if you want a Season 3. 2, what is your favorite character of the Serenno Mini MOC series? And the characters that have names I will be telling you throughout the commentary, so you will know all of their names. Right here is Trantos. He is basically the main character. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the slideshow. I put a lot of effort into it. I thought the song worked perfectly for this finale. And now I will get into an overhead view of the MOC, and then what you guys have been waiting for, an overall description of what is happening in this epic battle. Alright, so as you guys can see, this is the awesome overhead shot, sorry for my shakiness today, of the MOC, which was the cool shot that I used for that beat drop in the song, in the slideshow. I thought it turned out really, really nice. So yeah, also tell me what you think, what you thought of the slideshow. I'd like some feedback from that as well, and also the MOC, of course. And so this finale is on a 48x48 base plate, which I consider to be a MOC. Now, I do call the Serenno Mini MOC series a Mini MOC series, and I kind of think this as an exception because it's a finale. Now, this series will not become 48x48 base plates. I just think it's a good idea for the finales, so just so I can add more to it. And obviously, as you can see, I have a lot of minifigures and a lot of stuff going on, which I will get into right about now. Alright, so one thing that I really enjoyed doing in this MOC was including a lot of different terrorists and species in this. And as you can see right here are 3 different species of terrorists. And I have 18 minifigures in the MOC, which I really like doing. And I thought the battle turned out really nice. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, so I think first off I will go into this terrain, which I thought turned out really nice, especially for it being on a larger base plate. And I will show you guys some techniques I used in the terrain. And then, of course, I will get into the long-awaited description of the battle. Alright, so as you guys already saw in that overhead view, there are quite a few patches of olive green. And what I did was I had one large patch right over here in the corner, which I thought turned out amazing. I really liked how that turned out. And what I liked to do in this was have different sizes instead of just the same size. I want to kind of get away from that because it's not very realistic to an extent. So I had one large patch of olive green. I love olive green. I think it looks very realistic, really nice. And I had a few medium-sized patches. This one right here is one of them. It has 5 plant stems, which are these curly stem things. I call them both of those names. And you can also see some olive green stem grass around it, some cheese slopes, and in these medium-sized patches I used 1x2 olive green plates, and in the small patches I did not use any plates, but I used all 3 of the other things, which are cheese slopes, stems, and stem grass, which I thought turned out really nice. And now to this cement concrete terrain. I've been using this quite a bit, as in they are in an abandoned city and no one is taking care of it. It has a base color of dark bluish gray. Now what I mean by base color is the color on the very bottom. And you can see there's lots of layering with dark bluish gray, and you can see some patches of light bluish gray here and there, and of course those olive green patches that I already went over. And you can see there are studs and these grill pieces, these 1x2s, and also have some slopes, and just a lot of these, like, I don't know what to call these. There's like 1x1. I call them like grips. You can see cheese slopes. All sorts of different pieces are in this terrain, all throughout it. I had some nice shots of it in the slideshow, as you saw. So yeah, that's about all I will say about the terrain. Now you guys can see this river is very gross, and as you saw in the last episode, if you haven't seen that or the rest of season 2, be sure to check that out. It gives you a nice storyline and some good mini mocks in the season. So you can see there is a lot of trans green studs in this water, and I used mainly trans light blue or just trans blue studs, and I used clear studs up against the rocks. The rocks on this side are 2 bricks high, as you can see, and on this side 3 bricks high. So I just did a different level there. And in the last episode you saw a bridge connecting the 2 spots of the river. Now that bridge is actually not too far from this point. It's probably more down this way, but where they decided to do what they're doing, which I will go into in a little bit, they basically don't want a bridge. So yeah, now I will get into the long-awaited description of the battle. Alright, so first off is this large abandoned building that has 2 stories, and the first story has these arches, and of course it has all of this abandoned look on the outside and up here. All of that nice detail turned out quite nice, and you can see that there are a couple droids destroyed, just laying in some places, just because the droids are occupying the planet, and sometimes they decide to stroll through this city and get taken out by the terrorists, because the terrorists are not allies whatsoever with the CIS/droids. So you can see there are many civilians aiding Spade, Trantos, and Dez. As you can see up here, this is the guy that ended up escaping with Spade, and there are 2 more shooting down at these terrorists down here. These 3 terrorists are made up of a Weequay, a Rodian, and a Mandalorian. Now this Weequay has just a regular rifle and has a pickaxe attached to his backpack. And the Rodian, as you saw in Season 2, Episode 12, he has stolen 2 12th clone armor, and he has a nice weapon there. And the Mandalorian has a rocket launcher and is hiding behind those crates, which I think was a nice addition. Just a nice pile of crates sitting there. And you can see, of course, more of that detail and terrain. So this is the 2nd floor of the building. Now I will take it off and show you the inside, which also has just as much detail as you can see through that crack. I decided to add that. I thought it turned out quite nice. Just a nice crack. It turned out really realistic in my opinion. So I hope you guys enjoyed that as well. Alright, now I will show the inside of the building, and you will see a nicer, closer view of Trantos hiding behind this corner. Alright, so this is the inside of the building, the 1st floor. Now this ladder looks kind of weird without the top, the 2nd floor on it, and it's just some dark bluish gray sticks with some dark brown droid arms connecting them, and just attached to the ground. And you can see all this nice detail on the inside. I used some, of course I used these grill pieces, I used some in brown and dark orange, just knocked over that. This civilian, which by the way, these civilians are wearing rebel clothing, which I think it's kind of weird because the rebels had this clothing during the rebellion, which was a few years later. But I think it's very realistic that these civilians have that kind of clothing. So tell me what you think about that as well. You can see these dark orange grill pieces here and there, just to add that kind of rust feeling to this 1st floor. And once again, these arches kind of serve as windows and nice cover, like this 501st Trooper that's been with Spade for a while is aiding him still and is shooting through one of the openings in the building at a terrorist. So now I will get into the terrorist over here more in depth, and lastly, the horrible things that are happening in this area. Alright, so as you can see, there are 3 more terrorists over here, and this terrorist right here is just a human with some red hair and has a really cool weapon, just a Technic pin on the end and I don't know what that's called, I just have a nice attachment to it. And his backpack I really liked, so I'll show you guys that for a second. You can see if I can focus on it. Has that tube thing, and I just kind of turned it around there so it connects to the other side, and it just looks really cool. So I decided to use it, and you can see once I focus again, there are 2 of these, some kind of crate or barrel, I don't know what they used it for, just sitting there out in the open. And you can see there are 2 more terrorists. There is a Lanik terrorist, which was the official sniper in the tower, trademarked. And I think he is a really cool terrorist. I really like that species. And he is currently shooting at Spade up top, who has a nice angle at them, which I thought was one shot in the slideshow. Turned out pretty nice. And as I've showed before, Trantos has a nice angle at them from the side of the building, and no one is currently shooting at him, which is a good thing. And you can see, lastly, this barn is jumping into this small shack building. There's not much left of it. I thought it was a nice addition just to add over here so the terrorists can have more cover. And this barn was the one in Season 2, Episode 12, at their headquarters, that was burning dead corpses. Yes, burning dead corpses of their enemies. So not a very good terrorist, none of them are. And he is still carrying that flamethrower, but probably coming in to maybe light up the building to get the civilians away from them. And now I will get into the horrible things that are happening in this section. Alright, so you guys have most likely been wondering what is happening over here. Now, there is a huge storyline that I have been planning for quite a while, and in Season 2, Episode 3, which was quite a while ago, at the beginning of Season 2, Dez went back to his house, which was destroyed. And what basically happened with Dez is a few years ago, he joined these terrorists, which were in a civil war with the CIS, and they were trying to overthrow them. And he decided to leave the terrorists. He went on a hunting trip a couple weeks later, came back, and his wife and daughter were missing. So he had assumed that they were dead. So he then made graves for them without their bodies, and then went to the beach because he heard laser fire, and went to the beach and found Spade and Trantos, which was the beginning of Season 2. So that's kind of sets up what has happened, and now he realizes that his wife and daughter have been with the terrorists this whole time. Now what is happening with this is the leader of the terrorists, his name is Cranul, who was the one that took Spade hostage and took him back to the headquarters, has sliced Dez's daughter in half. Now as you can see, and that was one of the shots of the slideshow, she is a short girl, probably 10 years old, which is why this is really sad and why he is really ticked off. So you can see those trans red studs, and she has been cut in half, and you can see there is blood up there. He used an axe to slice her in half. Now you can see Dez's wife is a civilian, so she is wearing that kind of clothing. And this terrorist, my favorite terrorist that has this long black hair, is holding a knife to her neck, which is not good as well. And as you can see as I turn this around, Dez is not happy about that at all. So in season 3, if I do a season 3, which I believe I probably should at this extent, to continue to find out what is going to happen after this happening. So stay tuned for that. And lastly, there is another terrorist walking behind Cranul, and basically his second-hand man, his number one henchman you could call him, is this long-haired dude. He is walking behind. It's a Duros. I really like this color of this Duros head. I really like how it looks. And I really like his torso and legs, dark brown, and his arms are brown. That's just the clothing that he's wearing. And he has a backpack with a rifle attached to it. And he is carrying another weapon. So he is set up quite well. And he's just walking behind Cranul just to maybe aid him as, sorry for the blurriness there, the civilian up there who is kneeling and getting cover is trying to shoot at Cranul down here. And as you can see, there's another shot of Dez running in fury at Cranul. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Now I will get to letting you guys go. Alright guys, that's about it for the Season 2 finale of the Serenno Mini MOC series. Now, like I've been saying, if you guys would like to see a Season 3, be sure to comment below. And anything else that you would like to comment below, like who is your favorite character in the Serenno Mini MOC series, be sure to comment that below. It would be greatly appreciated. And if you guys would like to check out my Instagram and follow it, I post daily behind the scenes updates. Be sure to leave a like on the video to help me out, and subscribe for some more awesome LEGO Star Wars content. Thanks for watching guys, and I will see you next time.